Greetings, citizens of the internet! I have a great topic today that I am actually really excited about because it's just really exciting to me for some reason. But first, I have a couple things that I want to bring to your attention. Number one, I know most of you are pretty much focused on World of Warcraft, and you guys are going to be like, oh, Laura's talking about stuff that's not directly related to World of Warcraft. How terrible is this? Skip ahead to blah, 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 whatever. Somebody's going to post down there, skip ahead if you want to skip all the boring crap at the beginning. But if you haven't seen it yet, head over to Zam.com, check out the awesome E3 coverage that they've got going on over there. Phony and a couple of the other guys have been absolutely busting ass at E3 just to get a whole bunch of awesome stuff up there, and it's really cool. There was actually a lot of really, really awesome stuff that came out of E3 this year, especially if you happen to be a fan of, Republics, like really, really old ones. So, yeah, go check that out. Other thing I wanted to mention, patch 3.3.5 came out. Well, is in the process of coming out. Well, it might be out by the time you read this. The servers are still down, and they've been down all day. But anyway, yeah, that came out today, which means the Ruby Sanctum is not out yet. Actually, that's another week still. After the European realms get a hold of their copy of 3.3.5. But, there's a few interesting things that happened in it. There's the new Real ID feature, which is pretty cool. A couple of minor class changes. The Real ID feature, if you're not familiar with exactly how it works, basically lets you add a friend that you can then see no matter what they're doing, like if they're on another character, another faction, another server, even another Blizzard game. Once StarCraft 2 comes back up, it has Real ID features also. So you can be able to keep track of your friends that way. It's actually really, really cool. I'm looking forward to using it as a guild master. The only caveat is that you have to basically, give out your BattleNet email address, which aside from, it's your email address. Who knows what somebody could do with that? It also lets them know your real name. Honestly, the real name thing isn't such a big deal for me. I don't care if everyone finds out my name is Josh Allen, although, if that information got out, it could be kind of bad. But yeah, no, the bigger thing for me is honestly the email address and the fact that you can get a hold of me everywhere. So don't bother asking me for my real ID because I'm not going to give it to you. Sorry. Alright, so this week's topic yet again comes from a question submitted by a viewer. And this was a really, really awesome question that kind of popped out to me as soon as I saw it. I've been getting a lot of questions in lately. I just want to mention this real quick. I am really, really happy and really, really excited that you guys have been sending these in. I really don't have time to answer all of them, but if it's something that you think maybe I'd like to talk about on the show, keep sending them in, because having too much stuff to talk about is a problem I am okay with. So keep those coming. Anyway, this week's came from a guy named Fuzzy. He says, "Hi Laura, love your weekly vids," which, calling me awesome is a great way to get your stuff answered on the show because I have a massive ego. But anyway, you always say if you have a question, PM you on the forum, so here goes. I've been raiding with my current guild for over a year. Raiding for a long time has been smooth. Lately we've seen long-time raiders start to disappear or announce they're taking breaks. It's not a huge amount of people, but bleeding off 1 or 2 a week hurts the guild. Our biggest issue seems to be replacing those that we lost. We're 9 out of 12 heroic ICC 25. Blah, blah, blah. Constantly post recruitment threads. Even considering going to trade, but that could be bad. Yeah, that could be real bad. Be careful with that. He knows with it being summer, people are going to take time off, but signups are low. They can't make progress. Question is, should they punish in some way those who aren't signing up for raids and risk alienating them further, or lower their expectations for what raiding is and bring in people that are less geared and experienced and build things back up for the summer? So, this is a great question for a handful of reasons. Number one, the guy's name is Fuzzy, which is a nickname that a bunch of my friends from the RL, if you want to call it that, call me. They call me Fuzzy or the Fuzz. I haven't quite figured out exactly why they would call me that, but I don't know, whatever. It's a cool name. I like it. Other couple of reasons. Number two, I guess, at this point. I am really, really happy that he jumps right into our issue seems to be replacing those that we lost. You're not getting hung up on, oh my god, we're losing all these super, super important people. How will we ever go on and survive? And that's good crisis management. I love, love, love seeing that. He's basically just saying, okay, these people lost, and I'm going to miss them, and they were great, and I liked them, but how do I keep the guild moving? How do I make sure things still function? So taking that next step, not getting hung up on the bad, but going, okay, there's the bad, now how do I deal with the bad? That's great. I love that. So then and the other reason that this is awesome is because I think a lot of people are dealing with this right now. You know, it's the summertime. People want to go outside and have lives and work on their tans, which I've been working on mine. I don't know if you... Okay, that's a complete lie. I haven't been out of the basement in like 4 days. But anyway, so yeah, really, really great question, and just seems like something really, really awesome to talk about. Now, before I'm going to answer your couple questions specifically, I'm going to mention real quick about the actual recruitment process and some ways to step things up there to keep getting in more applicants. Posting recruitment threads is great. He listed off a few places like the Blizzard recruitment forums and his Rum forums that he's posting on. That's great. That's a good start. You need to take it a few steps further than that. You need to look at exactly what you need and find communities of those people. For example, if you're looking for tanks or healers, well, I mean, all sorts of people go to TankSpot nowadays, but tanks is probably the biggest one. If you're looking for a tank, go post a recruitment thread on TankSpot. I mean, you have to be a donor to do it, but you should be a donor anyway. You should do that. That's a good thing to do. But anyway, go to sites like WoW Matcher is a really, really great site. It's not one that a whole lot of people are using right now, but it's one that I hope rises in popularity because I really, really like the way it works. Basically, you just plug in, here's my raid times, here's the roles that I'm looking for. Give me a list of people, and it only lists off people that have registered on WoW Matcher, but there's still a good number of people there already, and it's just a really, really easy and streamlined way to actually start looking for people, and you can find people that fit you perfectly in a hurry. You can also find a whole lot of people that don't fit you perfectly, but you know, if you can be a little lenient with how things work, then good. So yeah, you know, just make sure that you're absolutely canvassing the internet with your recruitment threads. Make sure you're letting people know that you want them to join your guild. Okay? That's step number one. Just make sure you're getting all your bases covered on recruitment. Now, directly more to your question, which was, should we punish in some way those who aren't signing up for raids, or lower our expectations for what raiding is and bring in people that are less geared and experienced and build things back up for the summer? I generally don't like punishing people as much as possible. It's necessary sometimes if you've got people that just aren't showing up. You're never getting a raid together. But you know, okay, here's a good scenario. A lot of guilds will have this problem where they have a ton of people showing up on Tuesday or whatever your first day of raiding after the reset is, because they want loot. You know, that's the day that all the bosses die, all the farm content dies. You clear through the place, you get up to Syndragosa, and then you're like, all right, now we're working on progression mode Syndragosa. But in the meantime, you've killed 7 or 8 bosses up to that point. There's a whole bunch of frost badges, and there's a whole bunch of gear that's dropped. So you have all the people that just want to come along for gear, showing up for all of those, and then you know, you get to your next raid day, which is Thursday for us, is Wednesday for most normal people, and they're just not showing up. So, yeah, I would totally say make sure that's not an issue you're having. It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like you're actually just losing people. But make sure that, you know, if you're having that sort of issue, that you're reinforcing, look, you just find some way to make it so that they're not as likely to get loot, or reward the people that are showing up for progression nights better. Just so that showing up for just loot night is bad, and it's not a good way to get gear. Next up, as far as lowering your expectations for what rating is and bringing in people that are less geared and experienced, I would say absolutely. Whenever I'm recruiting people, the first thing I look for is whether or not there's someone that I want in my guild. Gear is something I can fix in a hurry. Experience is something I can fix in a hurry. I can teach you how to do the boss fights, and if you can't teach how to do the boss fights, well, I can help you with that too. Just go and tell them to look at our video guides. But anyway, teaching someone the fights is honestly not that big of a deal. Gearing them up, especially once you're a progressed guild that's probably disenchanting like half the things that drop anyway, also not a big deal. So definitely find people that you think are going to stick around, that you're going to enjoy playing with, and just seem like people that are really, they're going to be good raiders. Look for that first. Now, is following all that going to immediately make everything better? Well, probably not. It's still going to take a week or two or more of rebuilding and getting everything back together. But hopefully those tips can help you out a little bit and help you get back on your feet, and anyone else who's having that sort of same problem at the same time, because like I said, it is the middle of the summer. It's not an uncommon problem for this to happen. So, that's going to be it for this week. Thank you very much for watching as usual. If you want to get a hold of me, best way to do that is through a private message on TankSpot. Just go to tankspot.com, send a private message to the username Lore, L-O-R-E. It's really simple. Or if you like, you can follow me on Twitter. My username there is DevoLore, D-E-V-O-L-O-R-E. Yeah, so we'll see you guys next week. Thanks again for watching. Catch you later.